Okay, we are live. Welcome to this first of the year community call around the MetaMask and MetaMask developer. We are super excited to have you guys here. Ayush, how are you feeling for this January community call?
I mean, so excited. So many things happening around in the first month of January. Let's see like how the call unrolls about all the details.
Oh yeah, and I hope people got a lot of not just rest, but also test out new tech stacks, and did a lot of vibe coding wave or something. I don't know what you did in the kind of like the holiday time, but I think a lot of people kind of like build a lot of different things and not just be part of the MetaMask Dev Cook-Off.
Definitely. I think you tried a lot of like vibe coding tools, right? During the break.
Yes. Yes, yeah, I tested like 30 plus stuff, and yeah, but it was good. I also had some time to ski, and but also like hands down to kind of like test new things. I think it was also one of the first kind of like a really off time of the year. So I think it's always good to kind of like touch grass, slash snow, and test out new things. Awesome,
Man,
awesome. Let's say we have a packed agenda here. We're already kind of like 10 minutes in. So what are we talking about today? So we're kind of like doing a quick intro around why we're doing those calls. I think for anybody that never came in a MetaMask community call, we're doing this every month, and yeah, excited because this is the first of the year, and we closed up with a lot of different updates, and we were also eager to show who won some of those MetaMask Dev Cook-Off previously. We try to always like pack in everyone in 1 hour call, but it's always hard to have like and we have also like a full backlog. So this community call specifically, we have three teams that won previous Dev Cook-Off winners, smart accounts and more. And then we will have also like quick insights from CoinFellow, leveraging our MetaMask Smart account. But I mean, let's start with actually an intro. Ayush, you want to quickly introduce yourself? I guess we didn't intro ourselves at the start.
I think like at this point like there should be a cloud bot that gives the intros on the live
Oh yeah.
streaming. So hi everyone, I'm Ayush. I'm part of the MetaMask development team, and I specifically like work on the smart accounts team.
Exciting, exciting. Yes, and I think yeah, I mean everybody know you at this point. I think like also like Yash and Shabazz, they're also like joining those calls. Are also like coming and present different things. Exciting. Let's get started. So. Why are we actually doing this call for anybody that never kind of like came? We're doing this basically like every month. We're trying to combine this with like specific like live coding sessions, specific partner live streams, and the goal here is to really like showcase what's possible with everything MetaMask ecosystem, but also like how to kind of like debug live in front of an audience, and also like if you're hacking, you're building something interesting, you want to kind of like show what you build. This is also like a great way to just present. And then obviously we're sharing a lot of like product updates. We have in our pipeline a lot of like product marketing manager that will come also and present some of those updates that we've been shipping, from like non-EVM integration to like prediction market features. So a lot of different things. And I think for everybody that know, we are organizing also monthly those MetaMask Dev Cook-Off, and the goal here is also to invite those winners to present and showing what's possible with basically what you can do in these 30 plus days. But most important, also like showing and giving a floor to bright founders and developers to kind of like further extend and kind of like getting attention from the big audience. There are always a lot of people in those calls hearing us. Anything I'm missing, Ayush, that you're excited for those calls that are always happening?
I'm just reading the comments on the YouTube, and it's like why is Ayush always smiling? I don't know.
Hmm.
I guess that's the what do you say part of me. Like I wanna be happy always.
Nice, nice. And I think also because of this, in this call specifically, we have a lot of like smart account,
Yeah,
companies, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, I think like all of the like presentations are on the advanced permissions, and it's like something like we have been like building and like since like past 6 months, and the team has been working really hard like to ship this in the MetaMask extension, and how it's going to change the UX for everyone.
Exciting, exciting. Yeah, there is a lot of like work on the hood that has been happening in the background, and yeah, excited also like to see more, right? And I think like you already show different kind of like live coding session, what's possible with the smart account and delegation of permissions. So it's very exciting. A lot of also different use case. Okay, so I think quick housekeeping here. If you have any question, we have the chat. We will try also to kind of like highlight interesting question from the chat, so anybody can kind of like get an answer. We will always also share these sessions on links also after this call, and you're able to actually check this out on X and YouTube. And really, like we have two main venues for anything kind of like developer product related. Even if you want to kind of like discuss your journey, you want to speak about community builder nights, you want to speak about organizing or even writing technical content, we have two main venues, right? The Telegram group, MetaMask Developer, and then the Builder Hub. And I think we will showing also like some of the Builder Hub revamp. They were super excited also like to kind of like show. We went live a couple of days ago, and then we have also those developer office hours that Yash is leading. He will be in next calls, but yeah, it's super exciting because in those developer office hours you can really ask everything, right? From embedded wallet integration to smart account, and we are trying to always be there. And the goal here is to build something together, to answer question and try to kind of like solve some of the blockers that you have during your DevX/developer journey. Anything I'm missing here? Ayush, you've been in some of those developer office hours, right?
I think like the developer office hours are like happening since the Web3 odd time, and like it has been really good. I think like last time we also had like participants from the hackathon like joining the office hours and asking questions there, which was good to see.
Yes, yes, yeah, exciting. And I think we also see a lot of like diverse type of builders, right? We even see like founders that want to integrate on a later stage journey, embedded wallet or specific like features, and it's excited to actually see those people joining. Okay, sounds good. I think I saw in the chat here when is the next where I saw it somewhere. When is the next off? Like we are planning right now for it by February March. We are also like encouraging like if you are like a partner, you're a company, you also want to be part of this Dev Cook Off. Always feel free to reach out. Our doors are always open. And then also like I want to congratulate because we started 2026 really with a strong year from the community perspective. We open up like with basically like everybody know that we're running those builder night around the globe, and a lot of people were kind of like asking how can organize a smaller builder night in my city, right? And around 6 months ago we opened builder night on a more community focus level, basically like a MetaMask ambassador can actually like organize a community builder night. We will speak a little bit more about it later. And the TLDR is that this month happened like 6 or 7 plus community builder nights on different topics from developer to general like product perspective, and it's exciting because a lot of people showed interest, and we want to keep this going. I think it's a great way for people showcase kind of how you are aligned around the Web3 topics. And I think the sky is kind of like the limit, right? If you think that you are kind of like a person that want to organize those technical or non-technical meetups, always reach out, apply, and we have also like some QR code later. And I think a lot of like community builder night happen in India this month. I think even Ayush wanted to also organize some community builder night
Yeah,
in the future. Very developer focused, and he's exciting.
I think the best thing is like how it is like shaping towards the DevCon India,
Oh
and
yeah, oh yeah.
how the community is
I'm
like coming
already feeling the
together.
FOMO here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it's in a couple of months already, and I don't know. I'm just but it's still like we need to kind of like wait post summer. But I think there is a lot of like different things that are happening. If Mumbai is happening, there is a lot of like those community builder nights. So we keep going, and we will basically like warm up anybody that is kind of like interesting around those topics, and everybody that organized also like meetups in the past is definitely like welcome to reach out. I think the goal here is to kind of like spread the good Web3 kind of like journeys, Web3 vibe, even like organizing specific workshops or workshop or not. We also organize like some of those community builder nights from specific ambassador in Brazil around MetaMask card. So there is no limit on what you can organize.
You can have
Sounds good.
around coffee as
Mhm.
well. You can have
Around coffee, yeah,
uh,
yeah, exactly.
just to
Even
make things
even if
event.
it yeah, I like it. I like it. There is also like different kind of like unsocial meetups that are happening, and I think it's definitely a good idea. It doesn't need to be per se having a specific like panel or something. You can definitely like show up and kind of like put different people, align people together, and just speak about Web3 and more. Awesome. Awesome. Sounds good. I think we're good to go. These are some picture from this generally like community builder night. We had, I think, around was like four in India, three in Brazil, and some in Lagos, Nigeria. And it's crazy how these things are scaling. So we also like put here a QR code if you're interested to either apply or see more. We have a dedicated session in the Builder Hub. We will actually like show a little bit later what is happening, but really there is no proper requirement. Like the goal here is to try to apply, see if you're also like part of this kind of like community organizer. And I think yeah, as here is mentioning, like 30 events by the end of February is just crazy. We never expected this amount of kind of like interest, and it's just exciting because we are definitely ready, and we are also like ready to kind of like provide different content. Like with Ayush, we're also like prepping some of those workshops that maybe can be handled by those MetaMask ambassadors to kind of like spread the spread kind of like more those products. And I think that's a great idea and great way to go. Sounds good. Anything to add, Ayush, on community builder nights?
I think the best thing is like the community members are coming up front and like talking about like what kind of content they want to host. Like yesterday, I had a call with like a community member from Vadodara who had hosted the community builder nights in the past, and he was talking like how they want to like introduce like kind of workshop kind of content or something like a hackathon kind of thing, like a build station while we are doing like
Mhm.
MetaMask Tech Cook-Off, which can be really good ideas as well.
That's a definitely good idea. And I think even like other ambassadors for other company reach out and they say, hey, can we merge effort and organize maybe like a smaller like community builder nights or even like a workshop session. I think those things are definitely encouraged, right? We don't want force anyone to kind of like be specific on a specific product. And I think like the beauty here is that there is a lot of like ambassador from different companies around the Web3, and I think co-organizing this is definitely like make sense. Sounds good. I'm one of the co-organizer. I'm just putting this out here. One organizer of the Ifet Toronto will be happy to was alongside with the community night. What's the best way to collaborate? So basically, like we will showing in a moment. So we revamped the entire Builder Hub here. So we use Builder Hub for a lot of like technical question and answer around embedded wallet, MetaMask Connect, SDK, and smart accounts. And we added one section called MetaMask community, MetaMask ambassadors. So, and here you find all the information how you can collab and ask different things. So, and I think the goal here is to have this forum not just as a question and answer, but also like share those pictures, share those socials. When you even organize like a community builder night, you want to kind of like show your friends, your peers, even if you're building something, you want to kind of like share your vibe coded Web3 app, you're more than welcome to do that, right? It's a place where also we're engaging people that are writing technical writing every like all the time, they're documenting their journey. I think it's a great way to build things together and get feedback. And I think yeah, I think also like a huge, like we saw a lot of like different questions around the product, but in the same time a lot of people like did like technical blog posts, right, randomly on Builder Hub, and it was really cool. And I think with this revamp, it's definitely a better new look. That it doesn't look like kind of like 2000 style. And I think also like giving this better look will also like provide people a better
Shout
kind of
out to
like
Yash
UX
for that.
interface. Yes, big shout out to Yash. I think like everybody was shouting, I think, for this, and I think we definitely need to get Yash to kind of present deeper what you can do, how it's structured, and I think this QR code also like is showing you, and you can go directly. This is live, and you see also the MetaMask ambassador section live. And yeah, again, there is a lot of also people working on this on the background. So please keep also patient, because I think like last week we also closed some of those applications because there were like 300 plus applicants, and we also want to make sure that we have community builder nights and workshop very diverse. So, and we also make sure that not there is no 200 events in the same city in the same week, right? The goal is really like that you can get also like different builders in the same place, and is a concurrent, is every something happening every month. And I think that's also like more useful for builders. If I will be on the other side and want to kind of like learn something, that's a great way to get exposed to those calls, workshops, and meetups. Anything else you want to mention on the Builder Hub specific, Ayush?
I want to like people to come up and showcase their projects as well. I know like people have been building with the MetaMask tech stack apart from the hackathons, and that would be really cool to see like what they are building. So maybe we can
Yes.
also add a like project showcase kind of a section where
Oh,
they
I
can
like it. Yes.
showcase that
That's
thing.
actually that's actually a good idea. We can definitely like create this category in Builder Hub, and also if you have a project you want to kind of like showcase, it's a good idea. Sounds good. Let's remember that. Let's put in our note, because every time I'm like forgetting. Okay, sounds good. Let's do it. So I think we are good to go. We want to kind of like come and invite on stage our first Dev Cook-Off winner, companion. Do you wanna, Ayush, maybe give some background? This Dev Cook-Off was what was all about, like before, like we are hearing the winning demo.
Sure. So basically, advanced permission is a new feature that we have been building in the like MetaMask extension, and this feature is like based on ERC Sense and 1.5. In short, I can say like you can take certain permissions from the user. Let's say like you want to transfer X amount of tokens on behalf of user, and user can give that permission to a dApp, and now dApp can basically execute those transactions on the behalf of user. So even like when you're not using your like laptop or like on your phone, right, and you have given permission to dApp, they can do certain things on your behalf, like an agent can trade on your behalf or they can buy tokens on your behalf. So this like kind of removes all the ux I can say like confirmations that you kind of do every time you want to like approve a transaction. Also like kind of giving the automation to the agents that can run on top of your MetaMask directly and not have an embedded wallet in between.
Nice, nice. I like the background. And uh, yeah, before, yeah, and for leveraging this also, like this hackathon was like not a 48 hours hackathon, was 1 month hackathon. There were different live coding sessions where I used to also jump in and show some how to build with smart accounts. And there were a lot of like question and answer involved even in the Telegram group. So okay, so without further ado, let's have Campion on stage. And I think we are getting Richard on stage. Let me see if we have Richard on stage here.
I think this was like one of my favorite projects out there because of the sub delegations. Like people are not like exploring the sub delegations that once you have like delegated certain permissions to app, the dApp can then redelegate those permissions to like another agent to like perform specific task. And this is like one of the core feature of like I would say the delegation framework that we have been building, right? That you can do sub delegations, not just like a certain level of permission sharing. So it was really cool to see.
Nice. Welcome, welcome, Richard. It's a pleasure to have you here. You want to quickly introduce yourself?
Yeah, yeah. So it's great to meet everybody. Really thankful for MetaMask for kind of giving me the opportunity to be kind of showcase companion and also kind of the hackathon as well as a really incredible hackathon. Just being the month-long format, I thought was just super cool because you can see so many different projects, so many different applications for it. It was just really cool, just kind of going through and browsing everything. But yeah, so I'm Richard. I created a companion throughout this hackathon, and I'm super excited to be able to kind of showcase it and show the power of advanced permissions.
Exciting, exciting. Let's do the demo. You want to quickly share your screen?
Yes. Yes. Perfect. Is this
Perfect.
visible?
Yes, just getting it on the live stream. There you
Okay.
are.
Perfect. Yeah. So this is companion. This is kind of the meat and the potatoes of everything here. Big shout out to my sister. She's a product designer. She really helped me kind of put together the user experience and interface of it, kind of following my kind of philosophy. Just want to keep it kind of simple, kind of everything on one page. So really thankful to her. She's not here right now, but very thankful to her for that. But yeah, so I created Companion. Companion is a conversational focused AI agent for your wallet that's powered on advanced permissions. So here I have a few, I've connected my wallet here. I have a few different tokens. I have Ethereum, USDC, that I'm going to go ahead and kind of showcase setting advanced permissions on. So kind of select these two. And then here, kind of keeping everything on one screen, here's the different fields that you can kind of set. And this is what makes, I think, advanced permissions just super powerful, just being able to set these very fine-grained specific permissions, right? You can set the frequency, you can set the start date, the expiration date, the individual spend limits for each of these tokens. I think that's definitely what makes this just a super powerful kind of feature that MetaMask has put together. So, right, so I can kind of go through, put all these different things together, and then through the MetaMask SDK, I can also, this is all being batched together. So just one by one, I'm able to go through and start to kind of set these permissions one by one. So one call out here as well, really, really cool that MetaMask kind of this kind of integrated modal, this kind of fields you can edit inside of the wallet. I think this is something that's just super cool, right? Human readable. You're not setting an unlimited permission. You can also kind of edit these fields and kind of fix these things as you go. So there's no inherent trust in that front end to encode these things correctly, right? You can actually go through and kind of double check everything before you actually sign and confirm these things. So just going through, you can just kind of see all the fields that I put in my front end are being passed through. I have the amount, the frequency, start date, expiration date, kind of change anything that I need to change. So yeah, so just go through and just kind of set these different things and kind of confirm it. Yeah, and just like that, permissions is done, right? All the friction and all the UX has been really, for lack of a better term, delegated out to MetaMask and kind of the system here. So permissions has been granted, and just like that, we're ready to kind of begin prompting and talking to our AI agent. So let me go ahead and click done here, and then here you are. All the permissions. I've made sure everything is visible, everything is on the screen, kind of making sure you can kind of see these permissions that we just set. Yeah, let me go ahead and start chatting with the AI. Wait for that to go. Yeah, here we are. So just a very simple conversational chat experience, right? We're very used to these kind of things with chat GPT and Claude, all these micro tools. So it's really making sure that I can follow that core ethos here. So I'll do one thing here, right? Just kind of a live transfer, kind of a live thing here. And this is kind of a more complex prompt where I'm kind of saying transfer $10 of Ethereum, zero point 0.1 USDC, send it to Vitalik, and also send another one to a whole different address. So Companion is an agentic system, so it has access to a full different set of tools. It can check live prices. We also use NVO to kind of do recipient checking. We can estimate these gas costs. So all these are different tools that the LLM is autonomously going through. And also it has they actually did error out here, but it also has autonomous error recovery as well. So I'm actually kind of happy that went through because it actually goes through and kind of fixes errors. So if there's some kind of encoding issue or something went wrong, it actually goes through and kind of fixes that right on the spot. So I'm actually kind of happy that I was able to kind of showcase that failure there. So here we are. So kind of went through, it did all the ENS name resolutions, right? Kind of went through and provided us all these uh, different fields, did that live conversion for us. So just like that, I can say, let's go ahead and send this transfer out, and through the MetaMask advanced permissions, it's actually going to go through and do that for us. So, yeah, sorry.
We are always appreciating people that do live demos, by the way. So
Yes.
big shout out here, Richard.
Yes. Thank you. And of course, whatever goes wrong will go wrong inside of live demos.
It's always like that. Yeah.
I know I
Marty
just
Slow.
tested it a few minutes ago, but I think perhaps one thing I'll showcase, and perhaps this one will work. I'll showcase what Ayush was talking about earlier about doing kind of a recurring transfer using sub delegations. We'll kind of do 0.001 ETH and a certain amount of Vitalik again. And again, this is all kind of driven through natural language. We can go through, and then I was saying, please set the ETH1 daily, USDC weekly, and kind of make them both expire at a certain point. And it's going to go through. And as Ayush was mentioning, this is using the sub-delegation framework to actually create these different permissions derived from the master permissions that we set. So this is kind of set within this, and these are creating different sub-delegations. So I can actually go through and schedule this. We'll go ahead and say yes, and it's actually going to go through and create these sub-delegations and perform that scheduling for us. And each of these different sub-delegations has its own, of course, recipient amount, those different fields that we saw earlier that's actually being set here. So can we execute both now, please? Oops. And hopefully this one goes through here. Oh man, of course, whatever goes wrong will go wrong inside of it. I apologize.
What is that? I've got some information about you need to do. You like to know, yeah.
Man, I apologize. Whatever goes wrong
It's all
will
good.
go
It's all
wrong.
good.
It's okay. I think it's fine.
Yeah. Let me try one more time. Let me just try kind of creating a new chat session. Maybe something got interrupted. I do apologize for that.
Hopefully,
this.
demigods are with you this time.
Yes. It's the thing with large language models, right? It's always up in the air whether or not it wants to work that day or not. But I do have that demo inside of my actual hackathon video that showcased us working in action.
Proof that works. Yeah.
Yes.
Proof of work.
So yeah, let me go ahead and just maybe showcase this one more time. I don't want to waste anybody's time here, so we'll just kind of go through this once more. Kind of pray to the LLM gods that it's going to go through this time. Would you like to proceed with these transfers? And there we go. Happy I tried that again. Now it's actually going through and performing this tool call for us. So here it's now actually calling the transfer functionality, go through and kind of execute these three transfers for us one by one. So here under the hood, of course, it's calling the MetaMask redeem delegation functionality to go through and kind of execute these for us one by one. Of course, it's dependent on the blockchain kind of mining speed here. So we can just give that a second.
In the meantime, Richard, like we have Francesco Otto asking this question, which harness you guys using? I don't know if it's specific to Companion. I don't know, it's just maybe the tech stack. Yeah.
Yeah. So I am using Node.js to kind of power everything. I create my own kind of custom prompt orchestration framework that kind of has these different use cases. So as prompts go through, it goes through and kind of routes through these different, I have a bunch of different functionalities. I'm trying to make a very nice general purpose LLM agent that can kind of handle a bunch of different variety of tools. So I created my own kind of custom framework to kind of do that. So, yep, and there we go. Finally, so happy that it worked this time. So you can see the transfer did go through. We sent something to Vitalik, sent a second transfer to Vitalik, and another thing to Shaq. And just to kind of showcase here on Sepolia, or on Etherscan here, right? So here's the actual thing that went through, and you can see we did call the redeem delegation functionality on through the MetaMask delegation manager contract. So
I think the best thing was that before you got the response from the agent, the remaining balance got updated that only 1.9 USD or is remaining now.
Yeah. So this is pretty cool. I have so as things go through, and as Yush was saying, everything's here updated live. I have the MetaMask SDK. MetaMask SDK is a really helpful kind of way to kind of query these live chain states of kind of retrieving these different permission sets. So as these things go through, I detect the transaction, kind of recall this and you can see all the kind of things went through and kind of updated that. So kind of super happy that demo went through. And I also wanted to showcase kind of a failing state or kind of a state in which this is actually where the delegation manager contract is actually kind of stopping an overspent permission. So here is another thing. Let's go ahead and set $10 of USDC. You can see this is greater than my actual remaining limit. Yeah, let's go ahead and see just kind of how this works. So I'll go ahead and say yes. And of course, you know, LLM gods not really wanting to have this work for me today. I did want to showcase that, so let me just do that very quickly. It's probably something with the chat. I was doing some chat history with context. I was doing some upgrades, and this is also something to kind of keep in mind for LLM-based applications. It's just kind of this context window because I was using a cheaper version of Gemini Flash. I think that doesn't have as much context. So I think as these messages go through, it's kind of going through and kind of losing that context. I think that's something to kind of keep in mind when you're building agentic applications that you got to have, right? You got to make sure that, you know, you're using a large enough model to kind of fulfill all these different prompts and also be able to kind of have this chat history in it as well. But luckily, kind of restarting this prompt, restarting this chat, I'm able to kind of reset that context. So that's good feedback for me to fix. So here I did try to send a little bit more. I tried to send, of course, 10 USDC, which is outside of my permissions, and it actually did fail here. So when it did try to redeem that delegation, it failed through that context. And then with the LLM here, we're able to, of course, kind of diagnose that failure in real time. As I mentioned earlier, we do have autonomous error recovery. So receive that error, and, you know, instead of kind of giving back to the user, like, you know, some kind of cryptic error message, it can actually provide plain English through the LLM, kind of querying everything and kind of letting the user know here kind of how this works. And one thing I wanted to point out just in terms of MetaMask advanced permissions is that it's just all of this permission set, you know, it's enforced on chain, right? It's enforced through the actual contract. So there's no inherent trust in my backend to obey these limits. And I think that's something that even outside of this industry that I think, you know, a lot of users would find compelling, kind of, you know, something that's super cool overall. Just the fact that you don't need to kind of trust in anything, trust in a specific backend system is actually enforced on chain. So I didn't want to call it out, just kind of showing how powerful the potential advanced permissions is. So yeah, I don't want to go over. I would love to show kind of the agent-to-agent sub-delegation I put together, but I know I had some, you know, I had to redo some things. I don't want to go over my time. Can I show that real quick, Ayush or Francesco?
Yes. Super quick, like 2 minutes. Let me just reshare screen here. There is also a question like, so you mentioned Gemini, but which model are you using under the hood? The Francesco is also asking.
Yeah, so I am using a Gemini 2 Flash under the hood. So it's a little bit of a smaller model. So my responses are very quick, but then it also comes with the cost of being, you know, you're not having as much context within that, especially when you have a huge kind of prompt orchestration that you're throwing into everything to kind of route these different paths. So that's kind of something to keep in mind. You're kind of sacrificing latency for functionality. Yeah, I probably need to switch to a Gemini 2.5 Pro to get the best result, but it won't be as fast, which is kind of a different trade-off you'll have to do. So yeah, so let me go ahead and set up a recurring transfer. Again, everything is done through natural language, so it's going to go ahead and going to ask me, you know, how long should they run for. So I'll say make it weekly, make them daily, and have them expire in this certain particular date. And then once again, it's going to go through and create a sub-delegation based off of my master delegation, or master permissions here. So this is actually creating kind of a, you think of it in terms of like a tree, it's creating different child delegations based off of this one. So here's a different recurring transfers. Let's go ahead and say yes to set these. And there we go. So now we created some sub-delegations, kind of scope to this. So this is acting within the scope of whatever is being set to. So then it, of course, operates under the master permissions, but it also has its own kind of sub-delegated permission scope as well. So it makes it super easy to manage multiple parallel agents as well as commission more and kind of have them running underneath your master set. So Companion is really trying to make sure, you know, you have this one conversational aspect, you kind of do things live, and also recurring transfers as well. You can kind of set up these different agents running in parallel. So yeah, So I don't want to go over my time. I'm super thankful for Ayush, Francesco, MetaMask, the hackathon for uh, inviting me and giving me the opportunity. I'm super excited to kind of connect more with the community, and thank you for dealing with those LLM based failures. These are always things you kind of have to keep in mind and kind of keep working and making robust. But yeah, just super excited
Oh,
for
thanks so much, Richard.
transformations, and yeah, thank you so much,
It was
Yes,
everybody.
really great demo. Really
yes,
enjoyed
excited how
like
to see
yeah.
what's coming next exactly. I think there is a lot of like new feature that you will develop, and maybe we should definitely have you in some of the next live streams. In the meantime, we're also sending like some links of the demo. And yeah, no, thanks so much for coming, and brave really like to show this live. Well done.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so I think we are good to go. We have our second team presenting. So, Abraham, let's invite Abraham on the stage. So, anything to say before they're starting to present Ekelom, Ayush?
I think this was the second project that used the sub-delegations. Only two of the projects were using the sub-delegations out of all the submissions. And the best thing that Richard showcased was that now users are in control of what kind of permission they are giving. They are not just signing the hex data, because whenever basically you are signing the hex data, you don't know what kind of transaction you're signing, and that's always sometimes result in losing of funds, or like signing any arbitrary data where you can get hacked or something like that. And this kind of permissions like kind of make it like more safe for the user to know like what kind of permission they are giving. Also, they can update those permissions before giving it to the dApp. So if they don't want to give it weekly, they can say like I want to give it 10 USDC monthly instead of weekly. So user is always in the control, and that's what MetaMask is trying to do now.
Nice, nice. So, Abraham, welcome to the live stream. Do you want to quickly introduce yourself and tell us a bit about HLON?
Yes, hello everyone. My name is Abraham, and yeah, just to continue what the earlier speaker said, the hackathon was incredible. It gave me the opportunity to learn more about ERC 7115, and then just to understand how we could set granular and secured permissions, and that was an incredible learning experience. So that was awesome. And I'm going to share my screen real quick so I could just give a quick demo on a Charlotte.
Sounds good.
So yes, when you go on X, you always see people saying yes, they built this trading agent that's making thousands of dollars every single day. But there's no like way to verify that these things are true, because people are asking, can they really delegate spending authority to these AI agents without having to trust them blindly? So we have this trust gap where you don't feel really comfortable giving unlimited approvals to these AI agents. And once you do that, there's no middle ground. They can either rob you or just perform some crazy operations, which led me to build Echelon for this hackathon. So Echelon basically is just like a trustless AI agent marketplace where agents would get to register themselves, and then based on that you can then see their on-chain performance, and based on their performance you can then give them permission. So essentially they earn your permissions to spend your phone through the on-chain verified performance. So basically, when you come to the platform, you get to see the leaderboard. You get to see the top performing agents, what's their win rate, the profit and loss, the scores, and all of their performance are indexed using NView, so that way you can get to see the performances. So basically, it goes through four flows. The agent register, you get to see their performances, then you delegate, and then you earn from them. So let's just go through a quick demo of how all of this work. So I'm going to connect my wallet. Yes. So you get once you connect your wallet, you get to see your dashboard. You can see the number of active permissions that you have. You can see the total amount you delegated, and then you can see the profit or the loss that your the agent you delegated to have made. So for this project, we have two ways for which users can grant permissions. So we have the fund orchestrator, which is like an orchestration agent. So if you delegate to the orchestrator agent, what it does is it looks at the different agents, and then based on their score, it then sub-delegates to each agent. So that's one way. And the second way is when you look at a particular agent and you're comfortable with their performance, and then you don't want to delegate to multiple agents, you just delegate to one particular agent. So there are two ways. So it's either you use the orchestration agent, which constantly check and sub-delegate to your font, or you just choose a dedicated agent and then the flow works. So for this case, this particular agent, for this particular user, we delegated 100 USDC to the orchestrator agent, and then it was able to sub-delegate to the different agents based on their performance score. So let me just join with a new wallet, and then let's test this. Okay. So I'm going to join with a new wallet, and we're going to walk through the flow. So essentially, you can come through the leaderboard, and then you can see this agent. So I'm going to click on this one, Alpha Yield. And then sometimes you come on this agent, you don't know how much you should delegate to this agent. So we have this reputation gated permission whereby based on their performance, it's giving you like the limits with which you should delegate to this agent. So based on their score, it's advising that you only delegate 207 USDC to this particular agent. If you check for another agent, you would see a different score. So if you check for this one, it's telling that for this agent, you should delegate just 175. So it's giving you informed decisions based on their performance. So we're going to come here, and then let's start the flow. So in my case, I'm going to choose the orchestration agent to do the sub-delegation for me. So the fund manager will handle the core flow. So in this case, let's say I want to delegate 50 USDC daily for 7 days. Yeah, let's try 7 days. And then I'm going to grant the permission. So it's giving me the breakdown. Okay, I think I changed this. Yeah, it should be 50. Yes, so I'm going to grant the permission, and then you can see I'm delegating to the fund manager. The amount is 50 daily for 7 days. So now I'm going to confirm and sign. So yes, and here you get to see the breakdown, and it's telling you the reason for this. So the reason is we're granting the echelon fund manager this amount, and for this period. So the amount is 50, the frequency is daily, and then this is the start time, and this is the expire time. So I'm going to click on grant. And then I'm just going to follow ahead and confirm all the transactions. Going to give us the justification reason and confirm. Yes, so let's confirm this.
Yeah, I think the MetaMask screen is not being shown.
Oh,
I think it's fine.
okay. I was just signing a couple of transactions.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's refresh this. So the permissions were granted successfully, and it is now registered on chain. So the indexer will then pick this up. So let me just refresh. So yes, so this is it. So we just delegated, this is the total amount delegated, and it's just, so there's no profit, there's no loss because no agent has picked this up. And then what you can see now is it's currently delegated to the fund manager. It has not been sub-delegated to other agents. So let's just give it some seconds so that the indexer will pick it up, and then the sub-delegation will happen. So yeah, so far it has delegated to 2. It delegated to the alpha yield of 17.5 USDC, and then the arbitrage king, we delegated 12.5. So the process is still ongoing. It's still checking the performances and finding the most optimized agent to sub-delegate this permission to. So refresh again. Yeah, so it has added one more. So what it does now is once it gets the permission from the user, it does all the indexing, all the verification of all the checks, and then it subs delegates. So now these agents can now go on and perform the trade based on the permission. They can't go exceeding the limits. So it's based on the user's dedicated amount, and then the user can then get to enjoy the profits if it's good, and then the loss if it's bad. And then another good thing is you can revoke this performance. These are permissions. So if you're not satisfied and you want to revoke, you can always at any point in time choose to revoke the permission. So you are not tied into this process. So it's a very seamless flow. You can set the amounts, the orchestration does the assignment, and then you get to see the sub-delegation, and then the redelegations uses the ERC7710, and then it performs all the chain actions, and the user has full control to manage overview, see the activities, and also the delegations. So everything is, the whole indexing is done by MView, and Echelon just gives us that opportunity where you have this trustless marketplace where you don't just give an agent some of your funds without some verification, but rather everything is based on performances, and you just get the permission based on their on-chain verifiable data. So pretty excited to work on this and have some other features I want to add on the pipeline, and we'll be looking more into that. So
Nice.
thank you so much for the opportunity.
Question, Abraham. We have some question in the chat, like the same question about which model are you using and what kind of like harness tech stack you are leveraging here.
Yes, for the model, I'm using cloud. I'm using Cloud Sonnet, and the tech stack basically I'm using for the backend. I'm using Python Fast API to do all the checks, all the validation, and then for the front end, it's built on Next.js.
Nice, nice. A bunch of people are also saying Ryan included, a person that we don't know. Super cool, Abraham. So well done,
Yeah.
well done.
Yeah, I'm
glad that
excited
totally-
to have everyone give their review and then request new features. And this is an exciting project. I really enjoyed working on it.
What next feature are you planning to push?
So say that again.
What new feature are you
Yeah,
implementing?
so what the
next?
features I want to add is so when a particular agent goes below a certain threshold, let's say for example your performance score goes below 50%, I want to auto remove them from the marketplace so no other users can then choose to assign funds to such agents. And then also, I want to add like a reminder so that users can just get to see, okay, yeah, your permission you added for 7 days is coming to the last day. Do you want to renew or do you just want to end it at this flow? So there are other features that I have lined up that I want to add to make the platform more robust.
I think the other cool thing about the project was also the enforcer, which
Yes.
I think Abraham didn't talk about. Like he had an enforcer which basically enforced that the reputation, if the reputation score is like above certain level, then only like the sub delegations can be used.
Yes. So for these particular agents now, where the score is less than 45, the user cannot delegate to these agents because it's saying that, okay, the reputation is too low and, proceed with caution and all of that. So it gives you that guided information so that you don't, take a risk that is too much to bear.
Nice, nice. Any question apart the enforcer, Ayush?
No, I think like I just want all these projects to be live, so like we can use it.
Yeah, I'll be deploying this. I'll share the link with the team for some early feedback.
Yes, yes. I would say also like share like a more technical write-up in the
Okay.
Builder Hub. It might be also super useful for other devs to understand how you are leveraging the permissions here and the kind of also the lesson learned.
That's a good one. I'll definitely put out an article on the whole process.
Awesome. Sounds good. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. We will send some links, Abraham, and again, thanks so much also for showing the orchestrators here on live.
Yeah,
And let's
thank you for the
move.
opportunity.
Pleasure. Sounds good. Let's move forward with our last section here. So basically, for the people just joining, we're doing our last section, and we're inviting the folks from CoinFellow, speaking about a bit around MetaMask smart accounts and how they automate the strategies on the trustless DCE. So without further ado, let's invite Zach and Brett on the call. Just checking where are you guys here. Welcome to this first 2026 community call. It's great to see you guys. And you want to quickly introduce yourself. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Yeah, for sure. Great to meet you all and to be here as part of the MetaMask community of engineering at CoinFellow. And I'm here with Brett.
Yep, I'm Brett, CTO of CoinFellow, and yeah, we got a pretty cool demo today.
Love the t-shirt, Brett. I see a fox in there. Nice. Awesome. So much swag, cool swag around the world. So excited. Okay, let's do it. Let's do this demo. I don't know who wanna share the screen. You wanna maybe like quickly like saying what CoinFellow does in a nutshell, just to give some intro.
Yeah, sure, for sure. So CoinFellow is an AI agent that lets you get the most out of your crypto. Kind of a phrase that we keep saying is stop leaving money on the table. But, really, I think what we're building is so much more than that. Like what we're really trying to build here is a universal gateway to pretty much interact with all Web3 dApps. So CoinFellow can do kind of all the basic sends and transactions and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, what it can really do is talk to any arbitrary EVM-based smart contract on any network, which just really gives you a lot of crazy functionality of no longer having to visit these other random bridges, these other random dApp front ends and swap front ends with DEXs and all this other stuff. It's all just one intent-based interface with the agent.
Nice. Exciting. Sounds good. And I think we have some people in the chat, Ryan included. Love me a good demo. So there you are. Let's do it. Who wanna share their screen?
Cool. Yeah, let's jump into it. I think there we go. So this is CoinFellow. This is the main chat interface. Again, it's all based around MetaMask. A lot of other things like this tend to, if you want to automate things with your wallet, you're either a hard-coded smart wallet that some centralized server controls, or it's some like server-side private key. But with MetaMask and 7702, you're able to take all of your existing liquidity that's in your wallet and keep those keys non-custodial because, not your keys, not your coins kind of thing. And then you're able to sign the off-chain delegations, that allow the agent to actually interact with that wallet without having to have full custody of those funds. So we actually have a couple different categories of prompts here on the main page. We have grow, which is, how can I earn more with assets I already hold? Show me low risk yield options for my portfolio. All these things kind of around like, how can I grow my portfolio and kind of interact with the tokens that I have? We have transact. So this has everything from bridging, swapping, or you can even do, a bridge and a swap concurrently at the same time, where you'd say something like, I want to take my USDC on Base and I want it to be DAI on Polygon or something like that. And it's one intent-based route that will resolve that transaction for you and carry out what you want to do. We also have a big focus on actually learning because we want to onboard the next 100 million users into Web3. So a lot of questions that you can ask the agent and kind of go back and forth with it. Everything from how does staking work and what are the risks? What is impermanent loss in liquidity pools with that, because that's a huge gotcha with yield when people are actually depositing into these types of pools and doing these types of things. And even just basic things like explain the difference between L1 and L2 blockchains. We also do full RAG. So the latest crypto news, You can ask it questions about the news and how that's affecting trending coins in your portfolio. You could talk to it about, what's the Fusaka upgrade with ETH and what's up with that and how is that affecting the gas price. Basically, any type of news that you'd want to interpolate into your different tool calls. The agent itself has access to over 45 different tool calls that it's able to do. And we work with over 500 yield protocols. So everything from Morpho to Aave, you can lend through Aave, you can borrow through Aave. So we do, liquidity pools, vaults, lending, basically every type of yield generating thing that you could do in DeFi. We pretty much support it at this point. So there is like a basic portfolio page here. We're actually expanding this. So we'll have like a really big update coming out for this where we're going to actually surface not just in the agent, but also in the UI, all of these different yield opportunities that are based on your portfolio and what you're kind of holding. I'm a big supporter of graph tokens. So I was even like chatting with the agent the other day and I realized, I could be getting 15% back from the graph indexers just by like supporting the project that I'm already holding in my wallet. And it's like I was completely missing out on that kind of yield and that kind of thing. I could even just showcase real quick just a couple of chats here. So like an example chat would be show me low risk yield options for my portfolio. And then right away, you see it's querying a bunch of these tokens that you just saw on my portfolio page. And it's actually giving me the APRs for those that it is live querying for those. Again, with the news sources and stuff like that, you can also ask it any notable news about my tokens or about the things, and it'll do the inline sources with the RAG. Again, I'm holding mostly meme tokens, but you can see it's scanning my NFTs, it's scanning my tokens, it's getting all the things right from my portfolio and giving me a little bit of live news about those things. And I think this is where like some of the really cool emergent behaviors in the agent loop actually like come into play when you're saying like analyze based on prices, analyze based on real-time market sentiment in these newses, do this swap when the gas price is below this amount. And so we've built up this whole huge library of tools where we're now taking those 45 plus tools and hooking it all up to these custom automations that people can create. And so for today, we just threw together a quick demo automation with this for doing what is the most classic crypto thing you can do, doing a DCA, recurring buy. And again, when you're normally doing this, you're normally like depositing into Coinbase, and now Coinbase can lock my wallet, and all my funds are locked up, and there's no way for me to withdraw. But say I want an easy way to DCA with still having full custody of my actual wallet itself and being able to do those funds. So I could come in here. I'm going to do this on Base. And then I could even just buy some Ethereum. I could buy like $1 of Ethereum. I want to pay with some USDC, good old USDC. And then say I want to do this as a daily DCA. But with the underlying execute permissions for the delegations, you could do it weekly, you could do it monthly. I personally like to do my DCAs daily, not financial advice, but to hedge the risk against volatility. And then I want to do this until the 28th, so I could just set an end date there. And you can even see kind of the permissions overview here, where frequency starting every day, starting Thursday, and then I'm able to create this delegation. And so a couple of people already showed this screen, so I won't really beat a dead horse here, but we have our amount, we have the frequency, we have the start time, and we have the expiry in that. And then just a quick confirmation here. And there is our automation that we just set up. So again, it's kind of recapping what these permissions actually are for the user here, where the agent has access to spend up to 1 USDC a day. and the permission will expire at the end of February. And then I can even see my 2 scheduled runs here for when this will actually run. Or, if I want to take a day off from my DCAs, I could pause this and it's not going to do those 2 runs. But yeah, I'll leave this. I actually want to do that DCA. Buying $1 of ETH is always good. And then, yeah, if you want to clean it up, it's just basic deletion. We delete the delegations that were signed and good to go. Now you've given limited access from your non-custodial funds that you maintain control of, and you're good to go to create all kinds of custom automations. And yeah, again, just to reiterate, we're going to be surfacing tons of automations with this. Another really cool thing that we're actively kind of working on a little bit is even MCP integrations for this. A lot of people demoed some amazing agent-to-agent stuff today. Would love to connect with all the other teams on this call and see how we could even explore agent-to-agent integrations with one another, and whether that's through 8004 or as some combination of MCP. Yeah, we're hoping to have a full mobile app for this where you'll be able to manage the agent with all of your delegations on mobile. And even just with the MCP and agent-to-agent integrations, you'll be able to use it through Claude. You'll be able to use it through a ChatGPT app, kind of meeting AI users and crypto users at the tools that they're already kind of using. But yeah, I'll turn it over to Brett for the Q&A. Happy to take any questions together.
I mean, I really loved the demo. It showed what you can do with the advanced permission, and I think DCA was the one feature we talked in the Dev Connect as well. And I just loved the demo when you showed in the Dev Connect CoinFollow event that okay, we have done the advanced permission integration. That was the okay out of the box for us. So really good to see coming it live now. Just a question around the CoinFollow. What was the origin story for the CoinFollow?
Yeah. I think it kind of all came together just with the team, with obviously agents finally. I think it's hard, right? Because there's the stigma of you don't want to trust one of these agents with your funds. But, we're a dev heavy team. We're all using agents very heavily in our workflows, even our non-dev members of our team, very heavily. Everyone's doing agent workflows. So it's with AI affecting our lives so much in these other categories, it just makes sense that we're leaving so much on the table with crypto. And I think it was the combination, right, of models getting good enough to really trust them with financial transactions. But then the other groundbreaking part really is the MetaMask part here of there's never been a way to issue these agents async permissions in such a streamlined way that's built into the wallet. And I think that's really incredible that for everything in the AI space, what MetaMask is doing is going to have such a huge impact with being able to have these types of async permissions and kind of trustless interactions where I'm only giving limited access to a wallet. So yeah, props to MetaMask. I think it was the combination of everyone on our team was seeing kind of this emerge, and MetaMask just really made it possible.
Exciting,
Nice.
exciting. We have also one question from Francesco. I think he asked 25 questions, but we're using it as the Alchemy Morales Bank, and I think also the same question around the models, how you guys build the platform itself, which tech stack mostly.
Yeah, totally. So I actually didn't even shout out. I will just say, we're using some centralized models like GPT-5 Mini, but we actually have a full self-sovereign, what will be privacy-preserving instance that's actually Eigen-hosted models. So kind of shout out to Eigen and the TEE crowd over there that when this is all said and done, there'll be, self-hostable options that you can deploy a live instance on Eigen and chat with the agent that's powered by Eigen and the models over at Eigen AI. That's privacy and self-sovereignty, along with, maintaining custody of your keys and your funds are some of our top priorities with this. But yeah, I could even speak to the, some of the other tech stack is Next.js, all built on Next.js stack right now. We lean heavily on like TanStack and other popular TypeScript frameworks with React. Shout out to Yield XYZ for a lot of the yield aggregation and stuff like that. And then again, we're just using a lot of the underlying like DEX aggregators and stuff like that aggregate everything from PancakeSwap to Uniswap to Matcha and 0x and 1inch. And we kind of, aggregate everything that we can, because this is just supposed to be kind of an open window to Web3, basically.
Awesome. I just have one more question, like around the CoinFellow. Like, how do you make sure that the AI doesn't hallucinate and like doesn't give like random answers or like random suggestions? I think like we saw today with the demo as well, like the context was not properly present and it was hallucinating and not able to like process it properly. So
Totally. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a really tough issue. Like they said, I think it's a few of the other teams said it's about using models that have a large enough context, and it's always kind of a push and pull. Do you want to speak a little bit to that, Brett, where Brett has done immense work on our team towards this exact category of stuff?
Yeah, I mean, it basically comes down to just like good machine learning kind of chops and like just, yeah, I mean, good eval sets that are very thorough, having the right tool calls, doing tons of testing. I mean, we have like so many tests at every layer of the stack. But yeah, I mean, it basically comes down to like really good context engineering and then just applying like basic like machine learning principles. And just like where the models are nowadays, it's it's possible to get it to the point where I mean, we basically have 100% like success rate like on all of our evals right now, and any of the models that we ship live and we'll integrate with the agent, we're going to make sure that we're scoring basically 100% there as well. And so yeah, without diving too much into the details, I think those are kind of high level concepts, but we're pretty confident that it's possible to prevent hallucinations from putting your funds at risk.
Yeah.
Even just these couple simple pages that we showed, the amount of test cases and evals and tracing and scorers that are happening behind the scene with the evals, it's just immense. It's one thing for the front end and the user experience and everything like that, but yeah, one of the hardest problems still to solve has just been around good evals and good test cases and just making sure it's all rock solid.
Yeah, I think hallucination is one, but I think a lot of like context downsizing. It's I'm starting to speak more and more about this, right? Because mostly of now that I'm taking downsize on the scope, and the limiting this downsizing is also like something that is being discussed until like we are able to force something in the prompt, but it's still happening, this downsizing criteria. So anyway, I think we have like 2 minutes max. So what's happening next around CoinFellow? Any kind of like feature, DCA, app and leverage, kind of like those smart account, like what's coming next that you can share publicly, apart other things, of course.
Yeah, so this was using token periodic delegations, but everything from token streaming to some of the newer delegations that will allow more to kind of follow the tokens as you're rebalancing them. We're going to have shout out to Ayush, because he reminded me I didn't even talk about our demo that we gave at DevConnect, where it was all around yield vaults and actually auto rebalancing to the greatest APR yield vaults out of them. So just more custom strategies. You're going to be able to take any prompt that you want and turn that into the exact kind of automation that we just showed, where you're going to plug into our immense number of tools and be able to even just create custom strategies where the agent's going to be able to kind of think and reconcile and allow anyone to create any kind of custom strategy that they want, from, you know, things with normal transactions, things with prediction markets, things with yield vaults, again, multi swap bridge transactions that get batched with user ops and all of the goodness with the smart accounts, MCP support, mobile app support on every platform. We're shipping hard.
Yeah, and you can go to coinfellow.com to sign up. We're currently in like a private alpha state, but planning on public alpha in 2 months.
Catch us at ETH Denver.
Nice. Yes, bunch of comments around ETH Denver. So yeah, if you're around, please come say hi. We're also having a builder night happening, so a lot of people being involved. Thank you so much again, Zach and Brett. Super excited. Also, like QR code here if you want to follow the guys at CoinFellow. And yeah, I'm excited to see you guys next, and maybe inviting you again in this live stream to see like how you guys leveraging also some of those MetaMask stack here. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much.
Thanks for having
Looking
us.
forward to it.
Awesome. Sounds good. I think we're good to go. Super appreciated, Ayush, for also like hosting this with me. What was your favorite kind of like session of the day?
I think all of the sessions were favorite for me. Everything was around
All
the
the sessions.
advanced formations, so I don't think I have a favorite over here. All of the sessions are really great.
Nice. Yeah, excited. I think we also see a mix of like kind of like a more MVP, building your first kind of like product from an hackathon and moving this to kind of like more on prod, and then something like CoinFellow that actually like use it to like lowering the funnel. And I think it's like the DCA is also like a very strong like use case. Sounds good. Awesome. Sorry, everyone, that we went a little bit like late. We were too excited to see also like those submissions and showing everyone what smart account is capable of, and how they can kind of like enhance a specific like feature on your stack. And yeah, thanks so much. And probably we'll see each other again in end of this next month for the next MetaMask community call. We also bring more and more stuff. And yeah, until the meantime, feel free to check Builder Hub, ask some question. Our doors are always open. Feel free also like to reach out. And yeah, and if you will be around some of the conference, come to say hi. If you will be around some of those community builder night that MetaMask ambassador are planning, come and say hi and be part of like the journey. And we are just excited to share all this with you. And yeah, thanks so much for useful hosting, and to everybody in the background planning this call and making all this activation a success.
Let's go.
Exactly. LFG, but LF grow, right? There you are. Awesome. Thanks,